Yo, come on, we got it! Ladies and gents, I officially present to you 747. Whoa, okay. Okay. That last relic was a bit of troll mace, pun intended. Hello there, Timo here. Speedruns. Speedruns are fun, thrilling, exciting, and really deserve a great deal of appreciation when one manages to pull it off. I've never done a speedrun, but when you start a gaming YouTube channel and are kind of hungry for views, you start considering it. Seriously. I never thought that I will have to put myself into a position where I have to drill out moves, sequences, and certain combinations in order to beat my personal best or even someone else's record. Whenever I would watch Dark Souls, Factorio, or Sekiro speedruns, I was just so extremely impressed with the skill and precision that the players showcase whilst attempting the runs. And as I was watching those runs, especially the Sekiro ones, I was constantly thinking to myself, geez, I'm glad I don't have to sweat like this. Up until now. Wait, what about you guys? Have you ever done a speedrun? For example, you can time yourself on how quickly you subscribe to my channel and give this video a like and write down in the comment section exactly how many seconds it took you. Or else. So that got me thinking, what kind of speedrun am I willing to perform in order to self-actualize as TLF speedrunner? I'm not going to roll the dice every single time I start the ascension, fuck that. There's just way too many moving parts. Like, what kind of characters are you getting? What kind of origins are we picking? Are we high rolling on the items? Are we low rolling on the items? Do the items that we get are synergizing? Are the relics even strong? Are we trolling? What are we even building? What the hell are even Retro's glasses? I didn't personally feel comfortable with doing that kind of a run. Too much uncertainty, and my knowledge of the game is pretty limited. I mean, I've been only playing this game for 90-ish hours. And even to this day, I read the description of every single character, origin, and item out loud on stream because I have to remind myself what the hell this thing is even doing. Do we really want to do this that way? How can one eliminate the uncertainty? You can, as it turns out, because even the seeds don't work. All of your pathways and enemies and relic choices and even your items get constantly randomized. But there are some ways to make a run more consistent. In custom mode, we choose two challenges, Cloned and Megalodon. Difficulty, Flymaster, Classic. Goal, beat Act 4. Simple. Then we do what we know how to do best. We'll play Savos. And I know what you're all thinking. Oh my god, another Savos run? Yes. We're doing another Savos run. And initially I was supposed to record a video, and I did, and talk about how amazing Savos is in the TLF speedrunning, especially in my custom and personal category of speedrunning the game with Cloned and Megalodon challenges enabled as well. However, as it turns out, he's not the best, and there is a much bigger and more dangerous fish out there who is much better at doing the shit that Savos does. And as Kris, for anyone who is uninitiated, Kris has an amazing passive that gives him absolutely amazing sustain throughout the game. Every 4 or 3 seconds, I don't remember correctly, you heal any ally with the lowest amount of HP, and it scales with your spell power. Naturally, because Kris is an ethereal and a spell power caster kind of guy, you'll be building spell power on him regardless, which makes him for a great speedrun candidate for his innate sustain and his great damage potential. However, let's just address the biggest elephant in the room, and that's Kris's orbs. Kris's orbs are freaking random. You will never know where the orbs, by the way, whenever I say orbs, is Kris's active. He sends out orbs towards the enemy which deal damage. And you can never really predict where the orbs will go, and sometimes they will target the wrong thing. and you can either die and lose the fight, which sometimes can be annoying, or it can grief you around entirely because the orbs were traveling way too long when they were hitting the unnecessary target completely. But that issue aside, Kris is great. On the first weekend we've attempted to speedrun with him, we managed to beat Seva's time by like several minutes, which is insane considering it was the first time attempting with a hero off the bat. Fast forward a couple weeks later, and yesterday on stream we managed to cut down time to 7:44. This is very fast. However, we'll also find out that there are several things that absolutely need to happen in Act 1 for the speedrun to happen. Otherwise, you might as well just reset and not worry about it. Thing number 1, you have to get the Logbox Relic. Logbox Relic basically takes away all of your additional HP and defense that you get from the items, from relics, and from wherever else you generate your defense and health, and turns it into the lifesteal and spellsteal respectively. So why do you need this beautiful box? So this beautiful box basically prevents you from getting a lot of the burst damage initially and early on, and especially very, very, very important into the Act 2 and Act 3 respectively. There were several runs when I didn't have enough luck or RNGesus's help, and I didn't roll into Act 1 Logbox event and I couldn't pick it up, but I thought, hey, without it I can survive it. No. Act 2, you just get your ass spanked so hard that you can't even survive through it, and even if you do, Act 3 you will just get absolutely bulldozered over because the enemies will have much more health because of the Megalodon debuff in Act 3. The second thing that absolutely and most definitely have to happen in order for you to win, and helps just a great deal, is for you to acquire Shamanic Mixture and Shackles in Act 1 as well. So for anyone who doesn't know, whenever you pick up those relics, you lose half of your gold, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time, you get all of your negative attack speed becomes amplified into the attack damage, into the spell power, respectively. Now, if you get by chance also a Stinky Fish relic, and you happen to proc the negative Stinky Fish mode of the relic, you get all of this juicy spell power and attack damage added back and fed right into you. Yes, you attack slower, but who cares? You hit like a truck and you kill everyone anyway. Granted, the logbox is on your side and you don't get just instantly killed. And that also brings me to thing number 3. I don't know why I have been showing the 3 of this whole time. Anyway, we're moving on. So thing number 3 is that your origin almost definitely has to be spectral. So spectral origin gives you ethereal amplification based on your overall spell power. With Kris, you're gonna be building spell power, a little bit of MR, and maybe some negative max mana items as well. Jade Dagger, I'm looking at you. So naturally, this simplification will make your attacks hit even harder. Granted, you're most likely gonna either build Lightning, Bleed, Burn, or Frost anyway. Frost and Burn being probably the best, but Lightning has one of the best scalings in the game from the item which scales your spell power depending on the amount of shock stacks that you have. Oh my god, I have been calling it Lightning, but have been shocked, so disregard that, and let's move on. What else is there to say, really? Another factor to consider when you're doing the speedrun as well is boss in Act 1 can either make or break your run, literally, because you can either run out of flame, which happened to me several times, or you can run into the gremlin, who is really annoying. By the way, we refer to gremlin as a boss which summons the ads as well, and it takes so much time, considering you also have to deal with the random orbs flying around from Kris, and you don't know exactly which enemy is going to be targeted, so you know where I'm getting at. The second best option for the boss in Act number 1 will be Hydra. It is a little bit annoying. You put your most important damage dealer right next to the 2 specters at the bottom left of the map, and then Hydra kind of sits here, and then you put the rest of the team just to the sides, and you win the fight relatively easy, even though Hydra heals itself. However, your best bet probably would be the caster boss, who creates shackles and who also hits a bunch of people with like a AoE thingamajig. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Act 2, honestly, the best boss that you can roll into is the mummy fight with 4 statues in every single corner of the map and then him spawning twice, because Slime God can take absolute ages to kill. In Act 3, definitely Dragon has to be quickest boss to deal with. By the way, speaking of Act 3 is definitely the place for which you either fly or you lose all of the time that you've gained. All those juicy splits in Act 1 and Act 2 can be just absolutely absorbed into the void of the Act 3 enemies. Why? Well, let's start first of all with Megalodon. Megalodon increases all of your enemies' health by a lot, so you don't want to take up fights. And by Act 3, ideally, 2 out of your 3 Krises have to be fully itemized by then and deal enough damage to clear out the rest of the game. So if you're not set, you're kind of screwed and you might as well just reset. You go through as many shops and campfires as you can. Screw the gargoyle souvenirs, screw enchanted feathers. You don't need those stacks anyway. You're gonna do it, my boy, don't worry. We gotcha. You just fly through Act 3, get to the boss, and focus on the hands. Shout out to Shroff, by the way, for recommending me not to split all of my boys in Act 4 boss fight. You put all of your characters onto the sword so there are no more ads created. You eat up all of that corruption damage, and you kill the second hand as quickly as you can as well. So if you haven't tried speedrunning in TLF, I highly recommend you to try it out and see how it goes for yourself. At first, when I started out, I thought I would not enjoy it at all. But as it turns out, I kind of like going fast. It's very interesting and competitive for my personal sake and not for anyone else. The funny thing is that almost nobody else is doing it right now. So competing with myself for the best time is a lot of fun. And I highly recommend for you to try it out as well. If you've never done a speedrun challenge before, consider doing it. Pick a game that you like and let me know how you go. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe is always appreciated. And if you want to be in our next video, feel free to come over to my stream, either here on Twitch or in Kick or anywhere else. I stream basically everywhere nowadays. Appreciate ya. Bye.